Good morning. My name is Steve. I'm a retired superintendent from a general contracting company, retired last January. And since then, I've been doing a lot of work around the house and around the yard and on this cargo trailer. And my channel is called Steve's Homestead Workshop. So we're going to be making some videos. It may take a little while. We may look a little like we're not used to doing this, but it'll get better as time goes by. What we're doing today is we're going to be installing this retractable awning above a cargo trailer rear door, ramp door. And the purpose of this is we're planning on using this ramp door as a porch, and we want to be able to sit out on it and enjoy it without the sun killing us. So if you take a look over here, there's a few things I want to show you about this. I kind of checked on a lot of places on YouTube, and I couldn't find where anybody had made a video on installing one of these in this manner. So I thought this might be a little bit helpful. But anyway, if you look at this, the orientation is you have a tool that slides into here, and you manually turn it, and this cranks out. If I turn it over, you'll see the arms that actually crank out. And it's best to leave it like this until you get it installed. The other thing is these are the brackets that come with it. If you look at this, anywhere in this location you can put this bracket and it's going to work fine. And the other side it's a little bit trickier. It's not as wide an area, so you need to be really good with your tape measure and make sure that you check it a couple of times before you put these brackets up. What we have, the condition that we have, one of the first things I did was I took the door and closed it and marked the edge of where the door overlapped onto the trailer. And the distance of this, the furthest I can put these clips is 77 inches. So that ends up, if I was to put the bracket flush with the bottom here and bring it down, it would interfere with the corner of this door. It hits the pencil mark. So what I'm doing to take care of that is I'm going to line the bottom of the bracket up just above my pencil mark. You may want to come around here so you can see that. This is the pencil mark. It has a cross mark, which is right here. I'm going to install that just above that, which puts this other hole a little bit higher than the roof. But directly below this, there is a steel tube. So I'm going to make a bracket with this aluminum angle, which will end up being flush with the top of that hole. I'll drill a hole through here, and then I'm going to fasten it with stainless fasteners down to that tube, and I'll cut this so it's not hanging off of the edge. It'll be back here a couple of inches, and then I'll through bolt through here, which is the same piece of steel that these hinges and locks go to. So it's already plated, so that's not going to come off once it goes up there. So anyway, the first thing I want to do is go ahead. I've already snipped this side back to make sure that this would clear. I'm going to have to do the same thing over here, and I'm basically just using simple tools that you can get at the hardware store. This is an old pair of snips, metal snips, so we're going to use that. And this is the 77-inch mark here, and I don't want to be dead all the way up against the edges. I want to stay just a tiny bit off. So what I'm doing is, this is the other side of the bracket plus a ½ inch. I'm going to bring it to where it's only a 1/4. So I'm going to go back in to about here. I'm going to snip that all the way back just like that. Grab my ladder, come around, and then we're going to snip it the other direction, and then the little bit that's left on that, we'll just knock it down to where it's flat so it don't interfere with the bracket. Feels like you're not getting in there good, you just bend it a little bit and it'll let you keep going. Okay. Just tap that down. Nice and flat. All right, the next thing, I'm going to go ahead and do a pilot hole. Okay, we're going to go ahead now and place the bracket where it needs to be. And in order to make sure that the height is correct, I'm going to go ahead and check our line, make sure that we're not going to interfere with that door. We'd like to be as flush as possible to the edge of that angle. It appears to be good right where it's at. I'm going to go ahead and make a little mark inside this hole. We're going to be using 5/16 stainless through bolt here, and everything's clear on the inside. First I'm going to do a pilot hole. It's a little smaller than the 5/16. Tell as long as it took to get through that metal, there's plenty of steel behind that to hold this thing up. So now we'll go ahead and drill the hole for the bolt, and I'm going to use the 5/16, even though it's the same size as the bolt to start with. And if it gives me any problems, I'll just either ream a tiny bit or I'll switch over to the 3/8. And as I said, the fasteners I'm using are stainless steel. Because if you don't do that, they're not going to last any time. I've got a few different lengths in here. We're going to use the shorter ones because we don't need. We got to grab the washer. And on this side, look at these bolts. I'm using a carriage. The purpose of that is so nobody can come out here and unbolt this off of the trailer. There's nothing to grab. They can't unscrew it. So that's anti-theft. Through just fine. Tight space behind there, but yeah, there we go. Okay, now there's a tiny gap right here. So I think what I want to do is possibly grab a couple more washers and put a couple of washers in between there so that I don't have to worry about that gap. Okay, I have this washer I'm putting on here that actually has a rubber piece on the back of it, and we're going to use that, and we're going to seal around the bolt with some 100% silicone. And this stuff is rain ready in 30 minutes. Of course, we don't think we'll probably get any rain for another week. Okay, yeah, that's good. That takes that space up. I'm just going to hand tighten this bolt because we're not going to tighten these bolts up until we mount the bracket at the roof. So if you tighten these up now, the odds are you're not going to be right. Now I'm going to pull this up. Probably going to make a brand new hole. Okay. Find my correct pencil. Okay. Now I'm going to take this end of my vise, I'm going to cut it off with a bandsaw, drill a hole in the center of this, and then I'll be right back. Okay, we've got the clip cut, pre-drilled for the bracket. More stainless. So we're going to go ahead and get this up there and get it lined up and semi-bolt it up. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and put the self-tapping, self-drilling screws through here into, if you bring your camera over here, you'll be able to probably see that piece of steel that's traveling across the top here, and get that sealed up. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side, so there's really no point in making y'all wait for that. We'll come back once both brackets are 100%, and then we'll install the awning. Okay, both brackets are finished now and caulked. I just stuck the bolt, just slid it in. All you do is slide this into the bracket, stick this bolt in, and then tighten them down. I haven't tightened them down yet. Before I do that, I want to make sure that this door closes the way it's supposed to, and I'm pretty sure it will. But that's the most critical thing about how you mount this on this back. I don't know, all cargo trailers aren't built exactly the same, so I can't tell you if yours has the same metal in it like this does, where it's fairly thick. If it doesn't, you could always put a block of wood inside of there. You're going to cover it back up with the trim that goes in the corner anyway, so you're not going to see it. But anyway, I want to make sure that, that I stress as much as possible that you want your door to close once you're done. And as you can see how close this is at this corner, but it's not interfering. And same thing on, should be the same on this side. So it looks like we haven't done anything that keeps anything from working the way it did before. The only other steps are to tighten this down, cut the strings, and wind it out. And we'll do that in just a minute. Okay, we're going to go ahead and snug these down. Might not be the best tool for that, but we're going to make it work. That's it. Let's just wind up. There we go. Okay, I think that was snug enough. Okay. All right. Big moment has come. Just cut them. Okay. These things are kind of long because these awnings are really meant for a home, not for this. But I spent a lot of time looking on YouTube, and I couldn't find anything that even came close to this that anybody had done. So I figured it would be possibly important to video this so you can see what you can get and what you can do. So you can always alter things to where they work for you, but this is going to be awesome. Absolutely awesome. You can see how much shade I'm in now. Okay, it's been a couple of days since we actually installed the canopy, and I wanted to wait a couple of days because I wanted to run it in and out a few times, make sure everything operated the way it was supposed to. Got a couple of thoughts on it. One is there are some adjustments on this canopy. There's some screws on the front here which you can bring it up just a tiny bit on one side or down on the other side or whatever you need to make it absolutely level. And from being a superintendent for so long, if something's not level and I see it from inside the camper, it's going to drive me crazy if I don't straighten it out. But anyway, we paid for this canopy. This canopy was not sent to us by anybody. Nobody has sponsored this. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody kind of knew that I do like the canopy, or awning, whatever you want to call it. The company is called GRE Canopy. They're on Amazon, so you can go on Amazon, you can find this canopy, and there are multiple sizes. You can get an 8x7, you can get a 10x8, whatever size you really want. You can put them on the other side. But anyway, I'm not going to keep rambling. We will have some more videos coming. I have solar inside my garage. I have solar on top of this cargo trailer, and we're going to do some videos on what's inside the cargo trailer. We're going to do a walkthrough, and then we're going to do another video just on the power situation and water situation inside of this, because I think you'll find that interesting. But till then, thank you. Appreciate you watching the video.